Hi everyone, this is Christian Moralia from the Transformative EdTech channel, and today we're going to be focusing on creating modules in Canvas. As you probably know by now, Canvas is my go-to for LMS, and modules are an integral part of navigation for students. Just want you to think about one thing. If you ever played golf before, that little ball that sits on the ground is extremely hard to hit, although, and first looking at it, it's like, wow, I could just walk up there and hit it, and it's going to go to where I want it to go. I want you to take that same analogy and think about a module. Putting together the word module and putting together actually in a course, that's fine. But remember, our students have to navigate. There's some mechanics that have to go behind putting together the module, the purpose of each assignment, the information that's on each assignment. Much like hitting a golf ball, there's mechanics with the body, how you approach it. So with that being said, let's roll to creating a module. So for myself, creating modules is all about organization. And here we have an example. This is from Infrastructure Canvas. And this shows the importance of why modules are, instructional design is real important. So you can see with this particular module, we're going to take a look at a module and then how to create one. This module is broken down in so precisely. It has a title, and from the title, it's broken down into the different components. So as you can see here, it actually has an introduction, and which is important if you're talking about modules, and we'll talk more specifically about that. This one's broken down into the various pages that are part of the module. And because this is a training module, that's why it has pages, discussions. But what I like about it is the linear part. So you can see it's broken down from using an outline form. And this is real important for students as they navigate. Now in these specific modules, one of the things that we can see here is that all of the items are required. So in order to proceed through the module, a student has to complete each one before they can go to the next. Now when you do modules, you can set it up that way, or you can just set it up so that they can complete the assignments, move on to the next one, regardless of if they've completed or not. So there's very different ways of doing this. So we're going to focus on building a module. As I said, this is from the Canvas Instructure course for teachers. So we're going to take a look at what would a classroom module look like. So it's without prompting. You could see here it talks about using modules, and it talks about one directional linear flow of what students need to complete through in order to complete the course. Canvas is now has this pop-up that it will guide you through the process. So let's take a look at what I did specifically. So first of all, I want to look here because there's a difference between the modules I did. This is from the last year US history course. Now you can see I broke mine down into day 1 and day 2, and that's because I saw my students only twice a week. But you can see also that I included the week, and this because you could say we were in COVID instruction last year. It was important for me just to put the week. It would probably, more specifically, if I would have put down the date, that might have been a little better, but at least I had the week here. I also broke it down by day, so I met them twice a week. And so you can see they had one assignment, the daily life of slave, and then on the second day, they had to do a public service announcement. Now, typically with the modules, for me, especially as I said, being under the COVID restrictions when we're doing remote learning, I used to have some type of formative assessment or a summative assessment at the end of the week. So let's take a look at how we're going to build this particular module. Okay, so first of all, in Canvas, to build a module, it's as simple as clicking on modules. Okay, so I'm in the Canvas menu here. So I click on module, and I'm going to simply give it a name. And in this case, I'm going to give it sample module. Okay, now you notice here, you can lock the module, and that has to do with like a certain dates. You can add prerequisites. Now the prerequisites means that students have to complete a prior module. So you can see here, and I could choose from any of the modules here. In this case, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put add module. Now, this module is going to be on Canvas. When you create a module, it goes all the way down the bottom of the screen. Okay. Now the next thing, once I have the module, as I said, I want to do a better job with the editing process. So I'm going to put week 22. Okay, sample module, and I'm going to update it. Now, building the assignments. If you have assignments that are already built, you could actually add them to your module. If you are going to add a new assignment, you simply, or whatever you're going to do, what I've learned is that it's important actually to have a page, just a brief page that has a descriptor of what's going to go on in that module, what's going to take place. A good example of that is what was in the Canvas course. So in this Canvas course here, if you click on, this is the learning plan, and it actually describes what's going to take place in the module. This is important for students. You're front loading them. This is what's going to happen. The various assignments, the discussions, if there's quizzes. You're basically, it's like a mini syllabus here for that particular module. And this is real important. As I said, be right up front with the students, talk about what's going to take place. I didn't factor that into my modules last year, but certainly if I were building in modules this year, I would definitely make that a priority. So you want to make sure that the module itself has a page that's going to discuss what's going to take place. So you can see here, let's say I'm going to add a page name, so that's going to go here, and then I would put the required information here. If there's anything that you're going to have in the module, such as quizzes or anything like that, or whatever your assignments are, you want to make sure that it's clear for the students. If the different things I could add to the modules, you can see here, I can add a page, I can add a quiz, I can add a text header, which would be maybe given a description of the assignments. It's very similar to the module title. So I'm going to just click on assignment, okay? And I'm going to just choose a random assignment here. I already have the assignments. So what I want to do here, I want to make sure, because I want this to go in chronological order. Okay, so I'm going to rename this day 1. And once I do that, you can see the day 1 project is already here. And so every time you add something, you want to make sure that they're in succession. You want to make sure that students navigate from the first to the second to the third and so on. Now, when you set up your modules, you can set up, as I said, so that there's prerequisites to the module itself. And that's to complete other modules. The requirements you can add, and so that means that students can move through these. And so, for example, I want the students to move through each one of these assignments, all of the assignments in sequential order. So that means they are going to go from the overview to the day 1 and so on and so on. So creating modules is extremely important. It's a form of simplifying the navigation. It's good course design. Modules can be done different ways. As you can see here, you can make prerequisites in Canvas for modules so that students complete certain items. I like the idea of setting up a learning pathways. That would be with Mastery Connect, but I'm not able to demonstrate that now. But this is what a good module will look like when, as I said, this is mine from US history. The Canvas examples are much better. You can see they're more precise, but this is good modular setup as well. And you can see as you navigate, through the modules. They go from one module to the next, and they have to complete the module. So that's all we have for modules today. And join me in a few weeks when we'll be talking more about good course design. Remember, subscribe to the Transformative EdTech channels where you can get more information on using Canvas. Next week we'll focus on some further parts of Canvas. You can also find how to use Flipgrid, Pear Deck, and a variety of other tools to integrate into your everyday content. Thank you once again.